Oh, Margaret is here. Good.
Yes, I'm here.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Although, as a public service announcement, it took me 12 days to actually test negative. So
oh my.
Forget about this 5 days and you're good. No.
So they say it's not true then. I guess that
no.
Everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, it's very odd. I just assumed that I was doing everything right and taking all my precautions, and I still got it. So.
See? Just proves we are not all invincible.
No.
Hello.
Hello.
I seem to have lost the picture. Oh, hang on. I got a join meeting thing here.
You're on.
I must have clicked on something. Oh, there we go.
You're totally on board.
Yeah. I can't see anybody. Can you see? You can see me, can you?
Yeah.
Yep, we can see you and hear you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know what I've done here.
The important thing is you don't have to see us. We can see you.
Well, I haven't seen you for a while. I was.
I know.
Probably enough.
Well,
Got your next trip planned, Tom?
I'm sorry?
Got your next trip planned yet?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Good man. Good for you.
October.
Good.
I think I'm just going to book. I'm just fed up with saying this and that. Just book it.
It's fun while you're there, but getting there and getting home can be a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, I know.
And actually, it's getting worse now, I understand, from the airport.
Yeah, my girlfriend had a 3 hours or 3.5 hours once she landed 2 days ago, just to clear. And she was only coming from Barbados or something, right?
Into Toronto?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they've still got this.
Make sure you're not bringing anything else back.
I don't know if they've still got this arrive can thing, but that's a pain in the neck if you're in the middle of the ocean and you're supposed to send stuff in 3 days before you arrive. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly, eh? I used it when I crossed over just to go for the day, but he didn't even look at it. I was too busy telling him about all my good deals. Distraction.
Hi, Maria, how are you today?
I just muted. Sorry, I'm great. Thank you, everyone. Gorgeous day. I had to shut the front door, though. The husband's cutting grass.
Are we supposed to start?
1:15.
1:15, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm glad I got these things. They work. The only reason I came to is just to see you.
Well, maybe when Jamila arrives, she can give me a hint as to how I can get my.
She's on there.
Oh,
Yep, just ask.
and
I'm
any
here, yeah.
ideas? Any ideas, Jamila? I obviously haven't logged in, but I can't get a picture of you. I lost the picture. I
Did you
understand.
minimize the screen?
Yeah,
Is it at the bottom?
at
Do you
the
see
bottom.
the icon for WebEx? It's like a black background with blue and green swirlies. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm sure they have a
all right,
proper name for it.
there it is. Oh, yeah, I've got one in front of me here, but oh, there it is. Yeah, hit that.
If you click that and see if that works.
Oh, I got my screensaver popped up now. Oh, okay, there it is again. Let me hit it again.
Well, it's working because we can see you.
Welcome to Microsoft Edge. Choose a browser that puts you first.
No, that's the internet browser. That's not the WebEx icon.
Oh, all right. WebEx icon. You say a swirly thing with blue and green.
Yeah, and black background. If you hover over them, they'll tell you what they are.
Okay.
So you're looking for Cisco WebEx meetings.
Okay. I've got a thing here now. It said we sent a 6-digit confirmation code to my email address. I don't want to.
You're already connected, though.
Yeah, you are connected.
Dear. Well.
Sorry, Thomas. Oh,
Yeah.
that one. I'm just thinking, what is it you're seeing on your screen? It's Maria. Because I can see you.
Yeah, right now, I've hit a few buttons. So right now, I've got the WebEx Weave telling me they sent a 6-digit confirmation code to my email address.
Yeah, you don't need that. Do you have a button that shows the layout? Mine shows its top right-hand side. It's got layout and it's got a box with 4 squares. And then there's another one next to that. It's got a plus and a minus sign, and you can move that little bar. And what happens, you either have everybody on the screen, or if you go and take it to the highest, I only have you on the screen.
No, okay, where is that supposed to be?
On mine, it's top right-hand side.
No. I've got hang on.
Of your screen.
What is it now? Describe it.
If you kind of hover your mouse over it.
Yeah, but what's it look like?
It looks like an oval that says layout in dark, and then there's a little box with 4 squares. If you click on that, it'll show you the grid, like you want full screen view, show only the participants.
No, I don't have that. I can't find it.
Right on mine, it's top right corner.
Well, top right corner.
On the screen, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking. Top right. Oh, all right. Top right corner. And what's it look like again?
It looks like an oval. It's like an oval, and in it, it's got layout in bold. And then it's to the left, the layout has got a box, but it's split in 4 sections.
No, I don't have top right corner. I don't have that. I don't have it. My top right corner.
I sure am.
I've got what's this thing say? Well,
Destiny out and back in.
And that's all
What
I
if you
can
went out, Thomas, and then came back in again?
All right, now I've got my screensaver up in the upper right-hand corner. No.
Thomas, do you see where it says File, Edit, Share, View? Underneath where it says Cisco WebEx Meetings? There's a line there.
Actually, right now, I've got my screensaver up now. That's all I've got.
Do you have
Okay,
any
Thomas,
icons at all?
you can try and log out and then come back in and
Okay.
or
That's
go
what he's
back
gotta
to your
do now,
email
so he
and
can-
join the link again. It's 1:15, so we have to start.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know how I can log out of here.
Just, well, exit, it says leave meeting. It'd be a red.
Yeah, well,
circle with
I
an
see. I
X.
don't have any of that on my screen. All I've got is
Go
my
on your little-
screensaver. It says
Tom,
Google.
Go on your little square button on the bottom and in the middle and log out.
The red X.
Yep,
Oh, the red square.
yep.
Yeah.
All
That'll
right.
get you out.
Then come back in again.
Yeah. All right. Let's try that.
Okay,
Oh.
let's
I'm
do roll
back.
call. Bob, are you there?
Sorry, Mr. Chair. Bob has sent me an email earlier today and said that he wasn't going to be able to attend the hearing. He had
Okay.
something come up last minute.
Okay.
Okay. Mark?
I saw him join the meeting. Not sure.
Okay. Just mark him down when he comes on. Dave?
I saw
See him
him
on.
join the meeting, and I don't see his camera turned on, but I did see him join.
Okay, we're batting 1,000. Mal?
Here.
Laverne?
Here.
Nancy?
I am here.
Margaret?
Here.
And myself, Dale. Tom, when he comes back on, you can,
Here he is. I see him.
okay, we know Tom's here. And then
Mark is there.
when they come on. Okay, it is 1:16, so Jamila, if you want to call the first one. Yeah, I still have to ask if there's any members that have a conflict with any application today.
Not today.
Seeing none. Go ahead,
All
Jamila.
right. So we're hearing SCB 2222 for 5 South Meadow Crescent in Stony Creek. We have the agent registered to speak and several interested parties, and Councillor Pearson as well.
Okay, is the agent available?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes, good afternoon, Chair, committee, staff, and members of the public. I'm Diana Morris, Senior Planner at T. Johns Consulting Group, agent on behalf of the owner. We have reviewed the staff report and we are in agreement with the recommendation and associated conditions.
Okay. Councillor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I believe that the homeowner to the south of this is on as well. I'm not sure if you're going to recognize them. So I certainly would like to hear their comments. I did respond to an email, but I'd certainly like to hear the comments first if I could.
Okay.
And that would be Mrs. Bramer, as I see on screen, Ms. Bramer, and it would be her mother, Mrs. Lee.
There she said Brenda's there.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have several interested parties registered. Did you want to hear from them now?
Yep.
Okay, so we will hear from Debbie Birch Bramer first.
Yes, I have my mother here with me.
Yeah.
I guess the question here is the fence that's on the south side of the property, which was built by my father, is that they built it 1 foot inside of their property line. When we look at the drawings that were sent to us to look at, it looks like the property line is the same as the fence. Since my mother's not planning on moving her fence because it's on her property, has a proper survey been done? And we haven't been able to find any proper survey pegs. We did, however, find a red survey peg, or a red peg, could have been survey or not, on the east, south side, and north side. But, and they have MMP on it. But I'm not sure if those are actually survey pegs and if so, we would like to get a survey, the actual survey. And is this going to be only single dwellings that go on these? If this is severed, there's just single dwellings that go on those properties.
Okay, the agent can answer that question.
Yes, thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much for your comments. Regarding your first inquiry, there is a condition as part of this consent that we will need to complete land surveyor's reference plan for this consent application. So the survey will be done. And in regards to your second question, yes, hopefully once the property is severed, it will be 2 single detached dwellings, and we will comply to the current R2 zoning provisions when it comes to setbacks, height, frontage, and lot area.
Okay, does that answer your questions?
The drawings that we received, are those your tentative schematics that you're looking at?
To you, Mr. Chair, yes, that was based off a survey, but again, as a condition of this consent, there will be another survey reference plan done by a qualified surveyor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I believe my sister, Brenda Delamaestra, has another question.
Okay.
So the next person we have registered is Loretta Birch. Is she speaking today?
Okay, we'll go from Loretta.
Are you speaking?
No, my daughter's doing it all for me. Thank you very much.
Okay. So then we will next hear from Brenda Delamaestra.
Hello, I'm daughter number 2. Now, having never been through this process before, thank you for allowing us to speak today, first of all. Now, when we first got this information regarding the severance, my husband looked online onto the city, and on the city, it had a property number, but it was 15 numbers for 5 South Meadow. So when we looked at the depth of that property online, it said that it was 43.617 meters, but yet on the, I'll say the colorful drawing that we got, it says on here that it is 43.81. But I'm now wondering if, because this isn't, I'm going to say, a proper survey, does that mean that this is just like my sister said, it's just basically an idea as to what's happening, and we will know the exact depth and width of the property once the survey pegs are in? And if so, when will that happen? Because I've never been through this, like I said.
Okay, do you have any other questions, or is that the only questions?
That's it, thank you.
Okay. To the agent?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Oh, sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry, Jamila. Thank you very much for your comments. So just to reiterate, the plan, we did submit a survey plan as part of our consent application in order to specify that, or in order to make sure that we will comply with the lot area and frontage of our proposed dwellings. So the plan, the survey plan, and the colorful concept plan that you referred to was based off a survey. So the western property line is 43.81 meters, and then the western property line is 43.81, and the eastern depth is 43.66 meters, and that is based off a survey. And the survey plan, which I spoke about, that is required as part of the consent condition, will require us to do an additional survey that shows the two properties once severed, if approved.
I see. So then there'll be pegs in the ground that stay in there because there's nothing at this point. They were taken out years ago by the neighbor, I believe. I don't know.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, that's correct. It's unfortunate. I know that happens.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that's illegal to pull survey stakes, but I guess you have to catch them in the act. Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, if you can come back to me, I thank you for that. Certainly, I thank the family for attending and the questions they've raised, very valid points. So I just want clarification from the agent, Diana Morris, if I could. Diana, you said western and eastern. So that's the back of the property and the front of the property. I think their concern is the south and the north. Could you please just clarify? I see a head shaking here because I just want to be sure we got the right measurements. I think they're speaking of the frontage, which is the east facing.
1646.
Well, I guess if you're on South Meadow, it would be the west side. Is that correct? But that's not, they're asking the north side and the south side as the boundaries. So the width of the property from the northerly point to the southerly point being what abuts Mrs. Birch's lot. And I'm sorry, I didn't print the schematic off. Sorry.
1646 times 2 is what I see.
Through you, Mr. Chair, would it be possible for me to just share my screen, because I do have the survey,
sure,
just to verify if I can. Makes things easier.
Yeah. Well, I want the residents to leave feeling comfortable today.
Of course, and I do as well.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry. It's okay. Oh, sorry about that. I'm trying to get this going here. As I say, I want to share the screen. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to reopen it. My program seemed to shut down there.
Well, as you commented before, there'll be a full survey done. So where the pegs are is where they'll be.
Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen now?
Yep.
Great. So this is South Meadow Crescent. This is the property, frontage is 32.92 meters. So abutting this property line is 43.81. The rear yard is 32.92.
Okay.
And then this side is 43.66 meters, if that helps, just for visual purposes.
That's the length. I don't think the length isn't the concern, it's the width. So 32.92, and that's what divides into the 16.46. That makes more sense. When you were giving 43 something, it threw me off.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So that makes sense. So the frontage now, total frontage is 32.92. And with the severance of the 16.46, that will balance out. So once the survey stakes its property surveyed, that's what the measurements will be. And you're going on the survey now. The stakes will be put in when they do the layout for the building, correct? Okay. And
that's correct.
Yeah. And I just want to be sure, because I don't want to leave the residents who attended today, and much appreciated, believing, because I think there was a mention, this won't be iron bars planted. These will just be wooden stakes that will be put in the ground. If there's an issue that the resident wants a survey of their own survey, and I can speak to them offline afterwards, that would be something they would have to pursue. But it would be wooden stakes that would go in, that would identify the northerly corner of Mrs. Birch's property, on both the back side and the front side, so she'd have an idea that's where. So if they're saying that the fence is 1 foot inside of her property, then that will certainly show once the wooden stakes are put in. And they're normally wooden stakes, just for the residents who are here viewing, they're normally wooden stakes with an orange spray painting on them. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no problem with the application. I'm very supportive, recognizing what intensification can happen today. I truly appreciate that it's just 2 single-family residential homes. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may ask a question, sorry to barge in. If we have questions afterwards, once the surveys are done, what committee or subcommittee do we take those particular questions to? Instead of driving Maria crazy.
I would.
No, you can drive me crazy.
Contacting Maria, if you don't mind, and then she would look into it for you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Does the committee have any questions?
No, I'll move it for approval.
I'll second it.
Okay. Nancy, then Mel. All in favor?
Here.
Yeah. Hey, Mark's there. Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Opposed?
Been here.
Seeing none?
Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, David's back.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, my audio button wasn't working, so I had to do some sign in, sign off, sign in, sign off.
Okay.
But I'm back. Have no fear. Dave is here.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right, we're all set for the next file. We're hearing SCA 22103 for 31 Waterford Crescent in Stony Creek. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
Yes, my name's Cam Lang, and the property owner is also available, Paul McTaggart.
Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
We have, and we're in full support with the staff recommendation subject to the issuance of the building permit.
Okay, does the committee have any questions?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Chair. I think Councillor Pearson's here for this file too.
Okay.
No, I'm supportive of it. Just one question. Okay. Is it going to meet the height requirement of, I think it's 11 meters?
Yeah, it's a 2-story building. The elevations, I don't have them in front of me right now, but I believe it'll be about 20 to 21 feet, well under 32 feet or 33 feet, yes.
Well, I think it's 36 is the 11
yeah.
meters converts about 36. So
I'm
pleased, yeah, pleased with that. Fully supportive, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay.
Move it for approval.
Okay, Nancy, seconder.
Thomas.
All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried, application approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, and we are all set for the next file. We're hearing SCA 22109 for 517 Fruitland Road in Stony Creek. We have the agent registered to speak and Councillor Pearson and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Yes, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes.
And do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, Councillor?
Same concern, height, you're going to stay within the height limit of 11 meters by law?
Correct.
Thank you. I'm all supportive, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, committee questions?
Move it.
Laverne, seconded.
Sure.
Nancy, all in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
And we're all set for the next file. We're hearing SCA 22113 for 4 Montreal Circle in Stony Creek. We have the owners registered to speak, Councillor Pearson, and I believe staff might have updated comments about something.
Okay. Is the agent available? Or the owner? Pardon.
Good afternoon. Yes, hi. My name is Brenda Patterson. My husband and I are the owners at 4 Montreal Circle.
Okay.
Thanks for taking the time to review our application today.
Okay, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
I did, yes.
Okay, I guess planning has maybe some updates, so maybe we'll hear from planning and then we'll come back to you, Brenda.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon through the chair. We've been in conversations with the applicant this week, and they've advised, based on our comments for the accessory building, that it's going to be built with the peak roof and there'll be landscaping between the structure and the fence, masking it from the street. So staff is ready to update the recommendation to approval. And then I just wanted to also state that I've been in conversation with the Hamilton Conservation Authority, and Kathy from the Hamilton Conservation Authority has updated her comments that they are satisfied with the variance, but they still will need to get written permissions or permits.
All is good. Brenda, do you have any other questions?
Based on that information, I'm happy to hear that news, and have been in touch with Morgan and Kathy this week. So I thank them for working through some of these issues with me, and happy to support their recommendation. Thank you.
Okay, Councilor,
Thank you. So I'm pleased to hear the comments as well, and very supportive. The only comment, I just want to make sure that because it is abutting a roadway, there'll be a requirement for obviously the fencing that's, a stipulated structure of a fence when you're building around a pool, but there's also going to be the requirement of a setback. And I'm not sure if it's going to be called daylight triangle, but there's the visibility concern. So that's all going to be addressed through the site plan design, correct? Through you to Morgan, is it?
Correct, yes. The fencing, as stated on the site plan, was 6.5 feet board fencing, which I believe meets the requirements. And
6 inches, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and yes, in terms of the visibility from the street, the shed will be masked, and we're approving the variance for that setback. So
perfect. And it'll be, if it's a board fence, requiring that the cross boards have to be on the inside so they cannot be climbed. But the resident will be given all that information. Very supportive. No, not a problem, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Okay. Mel?
Yeah, I visited the place yesterday and I understand what's going on. I'm glad to see they got the variances straightened around they were concerned about. Also, I did see the blueprints of it and I'm pleased with the way it is. So I'll move approval.
Okay, so I can take that motion if there are no other questions from the committee.
I'll second it.
No other questions, but yeah, sorry. I see Nancy seconding.
Right. Take Laverne for seconding. All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you very much. You've made a family very happy today. Thank you.
Your son can swim in the deep end now.
That's right. Thanks for the visit yesterday as well.
Thanks, everyone. I'll move on to my next meeting. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Somewhere.
Got a couple of minutes. Was Thomas able to get back on?
Yep, I've seen him.
He's on, yes. I'm not sure if he can see us, though. Yes, he can see us. Perfect. right, we are all set for the next file. We are hearing ANA 22102 for 352 Devonshire Terrace in Ancaster. We have the owner registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the owner available?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes, we did.
And do you have any questions?
No. No questions.
Did you read what the engineering said about tabling it?
You forgot to put your hand up, no?
No, sorry.
Sorry, can you say that again?
He had asked if you had read the development engineering comments regarding tabling.
Read about an archaeological area. Sorry, this is all Greek to us, so we were trying to decipher what some of it meant. We read about the archaeological potential and that we're to report if we find anything of value.
No, it's a drainage program pattern.
Oh, a table. Can you explain that to us and maybe enlighten us?
Well, the engineering is just asking about, therefore we recommend the minor variance that be tabled until the proposed development shows that the existing drainage pattern will be maintained.
Okay.
I just wondered where you read that, what's that's about.
So how do we do that? Is that a survey or?
I don't know. Staff, can you recommend that? Answer that question?
Through the chair, Charlie Toman, Senior Project Manager in the Planning Department. I don't believe anyone from Development Engineering is on, but reading their comment, I think they were just looking to have an additional discussion with the applicant, and they could confirm exactly what they need in order to confirm that there's no drainage issues. So based on that comment, I would suggest that if the application is tabled, that the applicant follow up with development engineering staff directly to confirm exactly what they're looking for.
Margaret?
Yes. It seems to me that is what they're looking at. They're having a lot of concern about the extent of the concrete pad around the building. The actual variance itself is not concerned with the concrete pad. It's concerned with the roofed over enclosure. So I'm wondering if we could just put a condition on that, that they, it's approved subject to approval of development engineering with respect to drainage.
That sounds good. I think I could agree with that, Margaret.
Yeah, for the applicant, it has to do with how much and how close you're getting to the property lines with the concrete pad around the building.
So it's 2 feet away from the property line all around.
Yeah, so it's which is 0.6 meters. They would like 0.9 meters. So that's what they're saying they require for drainage. So, but you could discuss that with them.
For sure.
Okay, is that a motion, Margaret?
That's a motion. Approval subject to
development and Devon. Yep, I was going to do exactly the same thing, so I'll second it.
And then a note on the archaeological, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks.
And then is there a contact for the city where we can contact somebody for that?
Yep, so if you send an email to cofa@hamilton.ca, we can send you their contact information.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay, motion's made and seconded. All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried. Application approved.
Right, right, and we are all set for the next file. We are hearing ANA 22104 for 393 Wilson Street East in Ancaster. We have the agent registered to speak, and they have requested to speak first, and no other interested parties for this file.
Okay, is the agent available?
Through you, Mr. Chair, Joseph Liberatory here from GSP Group, planning agent on behalf of the owner.
Yes, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
We have indeed, and we agree with staff's comments and would like to request a motion to have this application tabled and brought back to the May 26th Committee of Adjustment hearing.
Sure, I'll move it. Is that okay with Jamila?
Yep, so the motion will just need to be that the application is heard at 1:05 p.m. on May 26th, and no further notice is required as notice is being provided in this forum.
Okay, there you go. There's my motion.
Seconder for the motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
You're here.
Opposed?
Seeing none.
Motion carried, application tabled.
Thank you very much. See everybody in 2 weeks.
right, and we are all set for the next file. We are hearing HMA 22105 for 27 Millen Avenue in Hamilton. We have the agent registered to speak and several interested parties.
Okay. Is the agent available?
Yes, I am. This is Prem Tiwari.
Yes. Did you read the comments that were posted?
Yes, I did, and we agree with the comments, staff's comment.
Okay. There are a lot of questions, and I guess we'll hear from the neighbors first. Camilla?
Okay. So we will hear from Janet Chappelle first.
Yes, thank you. So when I read the extra documentation, my question was around, is there going to be a secondary dwelling, like replacing the garage with a home, a second home on the lot?
Again, so if I can interject, we're dealing with three variances here today. And it's just strictly with the parking. There's no application in front of us today for anything that's happening in the backyard.
Oh, okay.
Whether that's something that will become in the future, we're not sure, but today we're just dealing with three variances with the driveway and parking issues.
Okay, I'm not directly affected by the parking, so I'll wait for another notice, I guess, if there's another variance. Is that how that works?
Yep, and I mean, if I may step in right now, and I'll just ask the agent, is this, the garage that's there, is it going to come down in future application for an SDU in the backyard?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no, I think right now there's no plans. This is only for the secondary dwelling in the basement. It's like legalizing the basement unit. So there's already 2-car parking at the back. There's a double-car garage which they use for parking. So we just need a variances for the access and for the setbacks. That's all it is.
Okay. So the garage is staying there for now?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that might help answer a lot of the neighbors' concerns.
It does, yes. There was great concern that we read secondary dwelling, and there was great concern that there was going to be a second house basically built on the lot.
Yeah, the secondary dwelling is going to be in the basement of the existing house.
That I have no problem with.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next.
So we will hear from Colleen Robertshaw.
Yes, good afternoon, members of the committee, Your Honor. My name is Colleen Robertshaw, and I live at 23 Millen Avenue, which is directly beside this house at 27. And you'll see I sent in an email with a bunch of points. I also sent in a list of neighbors who are opposed to the application, and there were another 6 more that came in later afternoon on Tuesday. I sent that in as well, but I don't see it, I guess, because it was afternoon. But they want to be on the record as well. I can give you all their names, or I can resend. You have the email, but I don't think it was distributed because it came after the 12 o'clock deadline. So there are still some problems. See, the biggest problem here was when you read the underlying documents. First, the notice wasn't very clear. People didn't know what was going on. And then the underlying documents say they want some exemptions for the maneuvering room and for the access. And they say that they don't need to have extra parking because they have this garage in the back. That garage, though, the thing is, well, a couple of things. One, it was built without a permit, and it shouldn't even be there. 2, it overlaps my property at 23. It actually comes onto my property. The overhang is about 2 feet over. The way it's constructed, you can't park 2 cars in it. Maybe the owners plan on changing it, but it's always been used as a workshop and stuff. So there's these walls that are constructed in there. You can't pull 2 cars in there. Yeah, I mean, obviously they might make some changes to it if it's not torn down, but those underlying documents, so they say, we have these 2 parking spaces in the back, therefore we don't have to provide parking for this second unit in the house. But then they say they're going to tear it down. So that's, and it says that right in their own documents that they plan on tearing it down. So then you don't have those parking spaces. Second issue is with that maneuvering space, or the way it's worded, they say that they're asking for 2.1 meters instead of the required number, but they don't have 2.1 meters. That would take them onto my property because there's a chimney that goes right from the basement up to the top of the house in the driveway, sticks out 10 inches. So really what they're asking for is 1.8 meters, not 2.1. You can't give them 2.1 without coming onto my property and giving my property away. I bought this house in 1991, and in those 31 years, nobody's ever parked a car in that garage. It's always used as a workshop, or there was a motorcycle in there for a while, but you could, and the reason for that is that you can't maneuver through there properly, and you can't get in and out if I'm parked where my garage is. So the other thing is, I'm not actually opposed to them duplexing the place. Although when he says something about this existing basement apartment, there isn't one. It's empty. It's gutted to the walls. And I don't really have a problem with them putting in an apartment there as long as it's legal and safe, and they build a secondary exit so that people are safe from fires. But the problem is all about the parking, because if they're going to take away the garage, they don't have those parking spaces, and it's right in their own documents. There are 28 different neighbors, all of whom have objected. And, that's important. There's not one neighbor who's in support of it. Somebody wrote in a note of support there. I don't know who that person is, but he doesn't live here. And he is in support of 5 or 6 different applications for whatever reason. I can give you, I would like to actually put those other 6 names on the record because they asked that they be on the record. I sent in photographs of all the signatures, but I didn't see them attached to those documents. Do you need those, or do you just take my word for it that these people signed them?
No, we have a list of neighbors in our package.
You have 22, but I didn't see the other 6.
They would have come in after the deadline. She's right.
Okay, well then I'll just read them into the record then, if you don't mind. There's Chase Janavati, Janavati, who lives at 47 Brucedale Avenue. There's Julianne Peace, usual spelling, 38 Empress Avenue. There's Autumn Peace at 38 Empress Avenue. There's Brian Lee at 32 Empress, which is right at the corner of Millen and Empress. There's Ivan Quach, Quach, at 32 Empress on the corner of Millen. And there's Merrow, who goes by Mike, M-I-K-E. Merrow is M-E-R-R-O. Salomon spelled S-A-L-A-M-O-N, and he is at 33 Brucedale Avenue. Again, it's a very kind of unusual situation where this house is, where this property is, because there's no corner house on the street here at that end. So 27 sits right off the corner, and so all those, there's 4 houses on Brucedale that all back onto 27 Millen, and they have quite shallow backyards. And this is more about this whole future plan of theirs, but these are people who literally you would be putting a house in their backyards. And the same thing, the drawing doesn't show the houses on Brucedale. It doesn't show the houses on Prince George, which back onto it. That's why the neighbors are upset. The last couple of things, I'm not quite clear on what it means, the maneuvering space. Like, can someone explain to me what that means? So there's 2 things. One about the approach at the road, I assume, and the other one is the space in between the 2 houses, yes? Is that correct? Mr. Tiwari?
Val, do you want to comment on the maneuvering?
On the maneuvering, I was visiting that site yesterday, and I drove my car in the driveway. And when I stayed as close to their property lawn as I could, when I got out of the car, I would not want another vehicle coming in beside me because I probably would hit my mirrors on my vehicles. There's not enough room for 2 people to come in that driveway. So that's what we're dealing with is parking in there, and I can't see that there's enough room for the parking in there. And I see the councillor and all the neighbors are that concerned too. I have no concern about maybe the extra living area in the basement, but as far as the parking is concerned, there's no way you can get a vehicle in that parking lot or in that laneway, and the neighbor can get by it.
That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. And the person who wrote in favor, who doesn't live here, said something, oh, it's a long driveway, you can park in tandem. You can't.
We're not
Anyone
worried about
parks
that one
there,
there.
the other
so-
person can't get through.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
That
to
one there,
interrupt.
I'm more worried about you're talking about your neighbors and that, so I'm not in favor of the parking right there, because there's no way would I want my car there and somebody in there, and you try to get by.
But that's
with a vehicle
exactly
the same
right.
size as mine.
It's exactly correct. You can't get
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we have other people who have registered to speak as well.
Okay.
All right, so
we'll
we'll
hear from the next one.
Thank you. Sorry, we'll hear from Tracy Lee Thompson.
Hi there. I just wanted to say that I live directly across the street. My concern is obviously, yes, the driveway, but the fact that it seems that I know you're saying that we're only looking at the driveway today, but it will impact what the plan is going forward, which doesn't seem to be very forthcoming initially from the owners. Right now, the property is unkempt and nobody's living there. And my concern is that there's going to be a lot of people living there with an absentee owner. And I'm not against intensification, but in the right circumstances, if perhaps the gentleman lived there and then he had a student rent out the basement that goes to Mohawk, or he had an adult child or a granny flat in the back, that might be a different situation, but certainly there's no parking for any of these people, really. And I just feel like there's underlying issues. The house is not cared for now, but they want to get this passed now and then tear down the garage and add more. It just doesn't seem like the intentions are forthcoming with what the plans are. And certainly it will impact. If there are 10 or 15 people living on the property, it is surrounded by many neighboring yards, and parking is limited. It is a small street, and I don't think it's 24-hour parking anyway. So it's not like any other renters could be able to utilize the street as their permanent parking space. And that's pretty much what my input.
Okay, thank you.
And we will now hear from William Curran. So I don't currently see him on the call.
Okay, next.
That was the last person who had registered to speak.
Okay. All right. I mean, the one question I see too is, this maneuvering space is about half of what's recommended by the policy. And I am taken back a little bit by staff's comments when they say it's sufficient space for a compact vehicle. Well, what if it's not a compact vehicle? You can't legislate that they only have compact vehicles at that residency. So I'm just a little taken back by that comment. But does the committee have some questions on this application?
Yes, I think I have a couple of committee members. I had Margaret.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
I had comments and also a question. Maybe a question for the applicant and the neighbor as well. It appears that this driveway is a shared driveway. Is that correct? Is there an agreement or anything registered on title that gives the neighbor right of way over the driveway?
Mr. Tawari probably has the answer to that because they just purchased the property a few months ago.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I think there is an agreement. I don't know if this is on title or not, but this arrangement had been there for the last, I don't know how many years. So I'm assuming that they have the right to use this driveway to access their property. I can ask the owner to find out. I don't know if the owner is here today or if he can speak about this, whether if the stuff is in the title or not. But I think there's a
think we
mutual
have-
arrangement for both of them, both the homes to use this driveway. I don't know, maybe the neighbors can correct me if I'm wrong.
It has been an arrangement for the last 30 years with people that actually live there. It's been a good neighbor thing that we've discussed.
Yes.
And we have, but these people don't live there and they don't know who's going to live there.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to agree to it with someone I don't know who's trying to do things that not even live in the house. It's strictly been something that we have talked about, and we've agreed that nobody ever parks in the middle. You're not
Actually,
going to
I
door
was-
if you want to unload.
Yes, I hadn't actually finished, but that was one of my questions was if it was untitled, was there any prohibition on parking in the driveway? So it looks like if there's never been any parking in the driveway, that over the past however many years, there has been provision for at least one car on the property for the past owner of the property. So I think that we can, they're only asking for reduction of one spot. So for the secondary dwelling unit. And just a reminder that we're not talking about a detached secondary dwelling unit at this time. If they want to do that, that would come in at a later time. So we're only talking about the basement unit. I think that I could support the variances. And just a reminder that we are only talking about the basement unit. And if there could be maybe a note on that, if it goes forward. Anyway.
Okay, but you can't give them
No,
to.
sorry, ma'am. We are hearing from the committee members right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to respond to that though.
So we have Laverne who wishes to speak.
Yes, just a couple of comments, and some of the things I believe have already been touched on. In reading through the package and turning to the back of the recommendations, there's a lengthy note there that identifies 12 concerns. And a couple of those concerns caused me to drive down and take a look at it. And I parked my vehicle in that driveway, and I believe I've already heard it said today, there wasn't enough room to even wiggle in that driveway with my half-ton truck there. And yet the city of Hamilton, somebody says they are supposed to have 6-meter maneuvering space, and we're down to less than half of that. To me, that is not a minor variance. Secondly, the garage that's already built, and somebody suggested that it's going to be taken down, is already right on the lot line and overhanging a neighbor's property. So it should have been taken down in the beginning or not even built there. And I believe it was heard, somebody said that it was built without a permit. So when it comes time for the vote, I really am not in favor of this. I think there's too many gray areas to be looked into here. And as far as a minor variance to reduce from 6 meters to 2.9 is not minor. And that's one of the reasons that I'm opposed to it. Thank you.
Okay, and we had Thomas wishing to speak.
I'm a bit confused with respect to this basement unit. Is that a legal unit? I got the impression that maybe there is no unit in the basement at the moment. And so they're sort of putting the cart before the horse by okaying the parking and then perhaps trying to get the unit legalized subsequently. And that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, to in effect approve something to accommodate a non-existing unit. That just it's kind of strange.
Through you, Mr. Chair, if I can answer that.
Sure, go ahead.
I think the owner wants to build a secondary unit in the basement, and one of the requirements is a waiver for the parking. That's why we are here. It's no different than having a regular house with 2 units, one in the basement, one on the main floor, and city does permit it, and that's the reason we are here. If we want to get the variances first, then we'll go to the building department and apply for the building permit to make sure everything is done legally, not like some people who just get it built without even getting permission, and they end up with all those issues. So we want to be totally upfront with the committee, with the city. We want to do everything the way it should be done.
As I understand it, right now, there is not one legal parking spot for that house. And there's going to be 2 units then with no legal parking unless we approve this. Am I accurate there?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no, I think we can still park one car. That there's a permission we can park one car. It had been the practice for the last so many years. It's just that we want a waiver so that we don't need to get an additional parking. But we do permit, I think, as the owner said, that there's a common driveway usage that people used to use and park their car there.
Well, but there's not the maneuvering space that the city requires even for that one car.
That's true, but the practice had been to park the car there. Yeah.
Well, you're saying there's a legal non-conforming use or something with respect to the one car? Because right now, there's not one legal parking spot, as I see it.
That I think we can refer back to zoning and clarify that point.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with Laverne that there are too many little funny twists to this thing to merit my approval.
Okay. Thanks, Thomas. Anyone else from the committee? Questions?
I don't see any other committee members.
Okay. Someone like to make a motion? Or does the agent wish to speak?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say that a lot of places, these kind of situations do occur, and the city has permitted, not only Hamilton, but other municipalities have permitted, because the house being on a bus route close to like Mohawk College, some community college, or the universities. So, I mean, that's the reason staff have approved all the variances. I think that's where the staff are coming from.
If I may, please, I have to respond to a couple things. This is not a bus route. This is a 1 block long street. That's it.
No, we're just dealing with the committee right now. Thank you.
Okay.
No. Sorry, when I meant bus route, meant
that was the
close
owner.
to that. Yeah, sorry, okay.
But if I may, the city of Hamilton seems to agree that if there may become the situation, I gather from what's going on while I was away, that there may be a situation where you don't need an extra parking spot for the secondary unit. But in this case, it's even questionable whether there's a parking spot for the primary unit. And that makes this an anomaly.
That's true, Thomas. I mean, it says, if the space is sufficient for a compact vehicle. So a normal size vehicle would have a tight parking spot in there to get out or whatever. But yeah, the width and the maneuverability is the question at hand.
I have Laverne.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to deny. This thing will go on and on and on, and I don't think there's an answer to it. There's too many gray areas that we haven't been able to fix, so I make a motion to deny. Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, a mover and a seconder, all in favor of denial? Opposed?
I have Margaret and Mark. I wasn't able to see or hear your vote. Are you in favor of denial or opposed to denial?
Mark, are you there?
Okay, I will mark him as not present for this vote then.
Okay.
So that would be one opposed then.
Sorry, guys, my thing went off. I'm in favor of denial.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
One opposed?
That's correct.
Okay, so the motion's carried, application is denied.
Thank you very much, committee.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, and we are all set for the next file. We are hearing ANA 22106 for 5 Val Ridge Court in Ancaster. We have the agent registered to speak, as well as the owner and one interested party.
Okay, is the agent available?
I believe that's going to be me, gentlemen, Eric Canton.
Okay, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
I did. Specifically to that, we will concede the 0.9 meter setback that development engineering wanted for the drainage in the swale.
Okay.
I do have a presentation if the staff, if committee would like. I'm not sure if
maybe we just wait and see whether, I'm not that I'm, want to cut you short. I just, if we need it, we'll ask for it.
I like that plan.
There is one neighbor that's concerned.
Yep, so we will hear from Susan Rutledge. I do not currently see her on the call.
Okay. Was that the neighbor that was concerned with the swale?
No, she has no objections.
Okay. Okay. Does the committee have any questions?
I have Laverne.
Yes, my what I have to say is just a comment. And in reading through the application, I see a couple of places in there where someone is concerned about the green space in someone else's backdoor yard. I was always told that you should clean up your own backdoor yard before you start worrying about somebody else's. So I don't know what's going on here. It seems like the people have gone to great lengths to bring this to a variance and pay for their variance and put something in the backdoor yard that would be accommodating to them. And I certainly don't have any problem with this application. And at the appropriate time, I'd make a motion to approve it. Thank you.
Okay, does the committee have any other questions?
Seeing none.
Okay, I'll accept that motion from Laverne. Is there a seconder?
I have Mel.
Mel, all in favor?
Here, here.
Opposed?
Seeing none.
Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time and I miss coming in front of you guys and presenting.
No, you don't. Don't lie.
Sometimes I like it. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Today's a good one.
That's right. That's right. Thanks.
All right, we're all set for the next file. We're hearing ANA 22112 for 31 Naomi Court in Ancaster. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
You're muted, Tony. He's muted.
Can you hear me?
There it goes. Now we can.
There we go. There we go.
Sorry about that.
Yep, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes, I did.
And do you have any questions?
No, no questions. I understand there was a letter from the neighbor regarding some flooding issues or drainage issues, but I honestly didn't see how that was relevant because it seems that that's been a recent problem.
Well, I mean, the concern might be if there's construction in the backyard that they just want to make sure that that swale is maintained or possibly improved a little bit so that water can head to the road would be my guess.
Well, again, I haven't seen the drainage plan for that area, so I don't think what we're planning to do, we're not changing the grades on our property, so
okay.
I'm not sure why the water's been improving there. And again, it seems to be, it's been a recent problem.
I have Thomas.
Ready?
I have Thomas with a question or comment.
I got the impression from the letter of objection that perhaps the drainage pattern in the backyard has been altered, and they're now getting flooding as a result of it. I noticed the engineering comments are basically it's okay so long as the existing drainage pattern is maintained. I think if this matter is going to be approved, it should at least have the condition on it that the existing drainage pattern be maintained. And I'd be happier if we could get an engineering comment, and perhaps it should be tabled and awaiting a comment from the engineers. It would appear as though something has gone wrong in any event, because the photograph certainly shows not a small amount of flooding, a serious flooding problem.
And so from an engineering point of view, I mean, it says the drainage pattern be maintained. I'm wondering if it needs to be improved.
Well, that may even be the case. Although I don't know. Reading this, reading the letter, it says that recently the water is starting to pool on one side, so that I had the impression, rightly or wrongly, that the original drainage pattern was okay, but somehow something now has gone wrong. Because she says recently water is starting to pool on one side of the backyard and is not flowing. And she says she never had issues with the draining before.
Can I comment to that?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe a comment. Maybe since we have no idea what the drainage situation is like, whether there's been anything changed or anything like that, could we just put a condition on that it is subject to approval of the grading by development engineering? And that could be, they just take a look at it and say, yep, this is what it's supposed to be, or no, as part of the building permit, you have to make some changes to the grading. So instead of saying maintain the grading as is, just say that it's subject to approval by development engineering. Would that be acceptable?
I would have no issue with that. I don't think the owner would have an issue with that either. I mean, there's obviously a problem, so. And again, it was just brought to my attention recently.
Yeah.
So, without seeing the original drainage plan, I don't know what's gone wrong. It wasn't a problem for a long time. All of a sudden, it's a problem. So.
Okay. So maybe I'll put a motion forward for approval, subject to a condition that the grading is approved by development engineering.
I second that.
Okay, Mark second it.
All in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none.
Motion carried. Application approved.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
right, and we are all set for the next file. We're hearing HMA 22115 for 35 Hamilton Avenue in Hamilton. We have the agent registered to speak, no other interested parties, and the agent did request to speak first, however.
Okay, is the agent available?
Hey, Mr. Chairman, Steve Fraser, AJ Clark and Associates.
Yes, how are you today?
Oh, thanks.
Good. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
I did. I'd briefly like to just address the first two variances that were requested for reduction in lot frontage and lot area. Staff are recommending denial of those two variances, but I just want to raise for the committee's information that those are existing conditions. It's a lot of record. Those variances aren't a result of any change to the lot configuration. So I just want to keep that in the front of the committee's mind when we hopefully come back to you for an approval. We're requesting this application be tabled so that we can redesign the building and address variances 4 and 5 so that there is no request for those two variances as well that staff are recommending denial. And we understand their position on that. So we do want to work with staff and redesign the building so that it does conform with the streetscape. So we are requesting this application be tabled until we can get a redesign back in front of you.
Okay, motion for table?
Yep.
Second.
Mark? All in favor of table? Opposed?
Seeing none.
Motion carried. Application tabled.
Thank you.
Steve, I was trying to get a hold of you. You're on holidays. Could you give me a call tomorrow, please?
Certainly.
Thanks.
All right, and we are all set for the next file. We're hearing HMA 2297 for 17 Grosvenor Avenue South in Hamilton. We have the agent registered to speak, as well as 2 interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
I am here. It's Richie Connor from Monarch Signs.
Yep, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
I did, yes.
And do you have any questions?
Sorry, I just trying to pull it up here. Just regarding the one parking stall, I got some information a little bit later regarding that only one parking stall is actually required.
Is that a question?
Yes.
Okay, to planning?
Instead of 2?
Through the chair, that would be a question to the zoning department. Yeah. Jamila, I don't know if anyone's on the call.
No, there is no one currently on the call from zoning.
Okay, all right. I just wanted clarification because normally we were proposed two spots and now we're being addressed that one was acceptable.
One is required.
Yes.
According to our references last week.
Correct. So
yeah, the two variances, planning is in favor of variance 1, but they're not in support of variance 2, the landscape front yard area reduction.
Correct. So why I'm asking this because the proposed option shows 2 spots, and I would just like to eliminate the 1 spot that was proposed and just keep the existing one, which we can add the landscape back in.
So I believe you're looking for a confirmation that only 1 spot is required, and the zoning staff would be the staff who would be able to comment on that, and they are not in the meeting.
I got confirmation in writing from them.
So I'm wondering.
So basically, you're saying that you want to eliminate variance number 2 because you'll be able to provide it now with the other parking spot.
Correct. I'll be able to satisfy the landscape.
Okay, and the comments say they're okay with variance 1, but not 2. If he's removing 2, I don't see what the problem is.
Well,
I'll move it for approval.
Hold it just a second before you go on. You're asking for one secondary dwelling unit within the existing single-family dwelling. How come there's 3 meters on that house?
Sorry? Why is
There's 3 meters on that house. How come there's 3 meters on the house?
I believe one is being used for the common area. I can clarify this, but one is used for the common area and one for each dwelling unit.
That's not what the neighbors were telling me, so.
Oh. I believe my client just recently purchased this and they're renovating it to turn it into a legal 2-family.
Well, that's not, all the neighbors I talked to said that it's been used for 3 and it's set up that way, so.
Oh, really? I'm not aware of that. Our drawings are just for a 2-family unit.
Yeah. Let's see, you moved the gas meter over, make room for another parking spot in the lawn, which would leave you no front lawn, so.
That's right. That was the initial intent, but no longer because we're okay with 1 parking stall.
Yeah. Yeah. But when I was there to visit the place, I couldn't find a place to park on the street. I drove up and down the street twice to find a place, and I did turn into the driveway. So there's no place on the street, no street parking there. So
yeah,
I'm concerned that we're not right with all the neighbors there. I'm concerned about the situation here, the 1 parking space, because I think, my opinion, probably need 2 for what if there's going to be 3 units in there.
No, it's only allowed for 2 units.
And if I may, I think the current requirement is still that there be 1 parking spot for the secondary dwelling. There's obviously a parking spot required for the primary dwelling. I understand from reading the material that I was given that there is a movement afoot to do away with the requirement that you have to have a spot for the secondary dwelling. But at the moment, it does require a variance to not have a spot for the secondary unit. That's my understanding.
You're right, and that was my understanding as well until I got clarification from zoning that due to the nature of this house being set back to a certain date, that only one spot was required.
You didn't need a spot for the primary dwelling.
It appears to be 1923. The city's tax rate. I'm just reading the email. That's for section 19.
Oh, all right. So,
yeah. So this is all response from zoning that I have here. That only 1 parking spot was required.
Mr. Chairman, we do have interested parties who wish to speak.
Yes, we have two parties, so let's hear from them, please.
So we'll hear from Matthew Gibson first.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I won't take much time. I've also made written submissions. I had submitted a petition that was signed by, I would think about 90% of the neighbors on the block regarding the paving of the front yard. I just, I guess my only sort of additional comment on that would be at my previous address when I lived at the corner of Wentworth and Cumberland or close thereby, every single house on that street had variances allowed that allowed for driveways to be paved, and the result being there was no trees on the street and also no street parking for visitors, guests, or other neighbors. So, we're very strongly opposed to the paving of this driveway. I just don't think it's going to do anything to improve the character of the neighborhood or the city, and so that's our main concern. And then our other concern, and I don't know if this is something that the committee really deals with, but just speaking to the 3 meters, and I understand that sometimes you need 1 for the common elements or what have you, but every subcontractor we've spoken to, because I live next to this property, and so we've run into a lot of the contractors, electricians, gas people, whatever. They all sort of confirmed, oh no, the intention is to turn this into a triplex. Now I don't know if those intentions have changed or not, but it just obviously gave us a lot of concern when we hear they're applying for a variance to a duplex and everyone else telling us something else. And so we just, wanted to make sure that that the committee was aware of that and that, when flippers are coming in, they're being held to the bylaws and the zoning requirements as best as we can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, the other person who was registered was William Curran again, and he is not in attendance as far as I can tell.
Okay. And as far as the 3 meters, we take the word of the agent as he says, and so that's what we go by. And if things change down the road, then that becomes a bylaw issue. So he's saying it's a 2-family.
Yeah, and I believe the owner has sent letter of consent acknowledging that it was being rented as a 2-family.
Yep. And variance 2, I take it, is not needed because we're going to leave the front yard alone.
That's correct. Yeah, we intend to have it landscaped.
Okay.
So I bring a motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. As per the staff comments, approval of variance 1, which staff's in favor of, and denial of variance 2.
Removal.
Or removal, whatever.
Thank you.
Either way, it's the same effect.
Yes.
Seconder for that?
I made the motion, but I'll second it.
I think I got Dave. All in favor? Opposed?
I have 2 opposed.
Okay, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you, committee members. Have a good afternoon.
And we are all set for the next file. So we are hearing HMB 2223 for 92 and 94 Stephen Street in Hamilton. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
Good afternoon, members of the committee. Matt Johnson with Urban Solutions. We've reviewed the staff report and have happy with the recommendation, hoping to have just a quick conversation about conditions of approval. Most specifically, we're here on behalf of Corey Shepard and his parents who are in the unfortunate scenario of having these parcels merge on title. In keeping with the committee's past practice, we're hoping for a little bit of relief. There's no change to the status quo out there other than reestablishing this line. And in doing so, we're hoping to avoid the need to remove a former Y connection. Understand that's a new city requirement, but it's really just a status quo out there. Condition number 5 relates to the OBC and spatial separation. Again, there's no change to the existing conditions. Similarly, with the zoning conformity and the need for any minor variances. All 3 of these conditions are routinely requested in these scenarios, and I do have a short list of examples where the committee has waived these in the past. In the interest of time, I won't rattle off all the file numbers, but they certainly are very recent. I've got more than a half dozen between 2019 and 2020. So with that, if we could have consideration for conditions 4, 5, and 6 to be waived, I would ask for support on that basis and happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, committee.
I see no committee members with hands raised wishing to speak.
This is golden.
Just reading through the conditions again.
4, 5, and 6 being deleted. Mark, what do you think?
I'm good.
It's an existing condition. I'm prepared to make a motion to move and approve it.
As written or with amended conditions?
With the amended conditions removed, or with the 3 conditions removed.
Okay, so that's a motion for approval with conditions 4, 5, and 6 removed.
Correct.
Thank you.
Seconder?
I second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Sorry, Margaret,
I
were
was
you
belatedly okay
in favor?
with it. Oh, yeah. I'm waffling on number 4, but yeah.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
yes, I'm in favor. Yeah.
All right. Then I have none opposed, Mr. Chair.
Okay, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you. We'll see you shortly.
And we're all set for the next file. So we are hearing HMA 2299 for 578 Catherine Street North in Hamilton. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay.
Hello,
yes.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm here
to read the comments that were posted.
Yes, and I'm here with the owner, Mr. Schoenhardt, and we have, we're going like to address the second variance that was recommended denial for the parking.
Yes.
And Jim would like to say a few words, if you don't mind.
Yes, it's Jim here. What I thought, even though it's indicated a driveway on my property, there's a right of way that was set up years ago when apparently the owner owned both houses to give access to the owner to the north to the backyard. So, and I understand that that's not allowed to be classified as parking. So I was wondering what would work best for the committee. I throw out an idea. Can you drive down what I call the driveway and put a parking pad, turn right into the backyard on a parking pad? Would something like that be acceptable? Because I like to keep the front yard, you know, over 50% green space, nicely planted with plants and everything. So that's my question. Or if you have another idea, that might work better.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe we should table it and then you could have that conversation with planning and get them to have favorable comments. Like if you have some different ideas that might work.
Well, I think it'll work perfectly. There's lots of room. Just pull down the driveway into the backyard on a pad.
There is an existing driveway there now.
Yes.
It's just that it wasn't shown on the plan.
In a 1972 survey that I have with me, there was no I call it easement or right of way at the time. It was set up after that, and I consider, and my neighbor considers, my driveway. So,
may I make a suggestion to the committee, please, that that we have this variance approved, provided that we provide parking on the site?
Laverne?
Can I make a suggestion to the applicant?
Yes.
When I read through the application here, it says under one of the comments, staff are of the opinion that the variance does not maintain the intent of the bylaw as it appears parking can be provided on site. So we've heard the comment that perhaps we should table this thing, take it back to planning and have a discussion with them and bring it back to us so we can approve this thing. I'm sure it can be worked out. So my recommendation is to table it, and I'm prepared to make that motion.
okay. Is that okay?
Yes, okay, we accept that.
Second it.
Okay. Take that motion from Laverne, seconded by Mel. All in favor of table?
Yep.
We're here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Seeing none, motion carried, application tabled.
Thank you.
Okay, and we did have a break scheduled at this time. Do the committee members were a little bit behind, but not too far behind. Do the committee members want to take a 5-minute break?
Yes.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
10-minute break.
Pardon? Sorry, a 10-minute break? 5 minutes? Who's?
I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Hi, I want to be involved in the conversation. Is that okay?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I wasn't able to hear you. I think my microphone was talking over you when you were.
Okay, 10-minute break.
10-minute break. Okay, thank you. So we will
7.5.
Chairman called it. Sorry, buddy.
Okay, we'll return at 2:55.
Okay.
right, Mr. Chair, it is 2:55.
Yep, I do kind of apologize for the 10-minute break, but we had coffee and donuts that were brought in here, so we had to enjoy them.
Oh.
Where are mine?
Sorry.
I had one for you, so don't worry.
Okay. We got everybody back?
So I don't see David currently, and Mark, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're just missing
Got the
David
back.
right now.
The back of David's chair. I'm
Yes.
sure he's sitting in it.
Yeah.
Call the next one, please.
All right. So we're hearing HMA 22101 for 800 Beach Boulevard. We have the owners registered to speak and one interested party. I do not currently see the interested party, though.
Okay. Is the owner available?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Sorry to keep you waiting. I guess I have to ask a question. Well, first I asked the question if you read the comments that were posted.
I did, yes.
And so the parking issue, being a church, I have to ask the question, was there not parking there previously?
No, there's only ever been two. I think there was originally 3 spots, but there's been 2 spots for the last 40 years.
Okay.
40-ish years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had a lot of walk-ins.
Yeah.
They've been practicing virtual for a long time.
Okay, did you have any questions with the comments that were posted?
I don't have questions. I do want to comment on them, though.
Okay.
So they do reference it being a place of worship. So the church actually closed in 1981, and it's been used as a residence. Since then, we bought it as a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom residence. And following our purchase, we were advised that we needed to get a change of use permit, which we were unaware of at the time of purchase. So the building is 3,300 square feet and is divided by a block wall down the center that divides the original church and the original rectory. And so our plan was to have us on one side and my mother on the other side. And so the city inspector is actually the one who suggested we do the secondary dwelling to formalize that division. And so as part of that, we have 2 parking spots, and we've been told we need 3 for the minor variance. And we've also been told that as part of the secondary dwelling, you cannot have 2 front doors. So the church obviously has the original 2 front doors. One is for the church, one was for the rectory. So we just want to keep everything status quo.
Okay. So I mean, I sorry if I'm not meaning a joke from this, but I just wondered if your husband's okay with mother-in-law living that close.
It's okay.
Okay.
It was a church. It'll be okay.
Okay, which decade are you guys living in?
Yeah, I think everything's okay what you got there. I'll move it for acceptance. Approval.
The one concerned citizen, did they come online or still not?
No, it was William Curran again, and I don't see them on the call.
Okay. Does the committee have any other questions?
Seeing none?
Staff is supportive, so. Committee?
I moved it.
I'll second it.
Mel and Laverne, all in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried, application approved.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right, and we are all set for the next file. So we are hearing HMB 2224 for 58 Parkside Drive in Waterdown or Flamborough. And we have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties. And I did just want to clarify that this property is located in Waterdown, former municipality of Flamborough. I believe there was some confusion about if it was in Dundas or in Hamilton City proper, but it is in Waterdown.
Okay, is the agent available?
Yes, Jerry Chisler here from MHPC Planning.
Yes, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yep, I reviewed the comments, reviewed the conditions. We're okay with what staff is proposing.
Okay, committee? Questions or a motion?
I
Mark?
think I had a question. I had Margaret.
No, I was just going to move it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Second.
Then I seconded.
Okay.
2 seconders.
Yeah.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none.
Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and we are all set for the next file. So we're hearing HMA 22108 for 286 Victoria Avenue North in Hamilton. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
Good afternoon again, members of the committee. Matt Johnston, Urban Solutions. Pleased to be here on behalf of the owner. A rather straightforward application. Happy to answer any questions. Long story short, the use of the building is permitted. However, a change of use permit is required, and that creates a bit of a parking issue. As you can appreciate, the building right across the street from Hamilton General lends itself well to this use, but does need the parking relief. And there are private and municipal lots in the immediate vicinity. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Committee?
Laverne?
Staff is very supportive, and so am I. And so when the appropriate time comes, I'd like to make a motion to approve this.
I'll take that motion right now. Is there a seconder?
Seconded.
Okay, sorry. Could I just clarify that the motion is approved as amended per zoning? They had some minor, I believe, technical amendments.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mark seconded it. All in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none.
None opposed?
Oh, no, sorry, none opposed.
Okay, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
Right, and we are all set for the next file. We are hearing HMA 21437 for 237 Broadway Avenue in Hamilton. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Hey, is the agent available?
Yes, I am. Christopher Langley from Vittori Planning and Management. Good afternoon, committee.
Yes. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yep, I did, and ourselves and the owner have no concerns with them.
Okay. Committee, have any questions? There was one question, I guess, from one of the letters that came in, talked about 8 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. Any truth to that, or?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no, there's only 6 in between, and split between 3 from the secondary dwelling unit and 3 in the primary dwelling unit. The proposal is for the reconstruction of the existing structure to construct a new 2-story dwelling as well as a attached secondary dwelling unit in the rear yard.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
I have Laverne, I believe.
Usually when an application is tabled, it's taken away to bring it back to us at a later date with something that's more compatible and something we can understand and approve. And it appears to me that this has been done in this case because this was taken from us back on February the 3rd and brought back again. And staff is supportive, and so am I. Thank you.
Anyone else with questions? I'll take that as a motion of approval. Okay, seconder?
I'll second it.
Mel?
Okay. All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried. Application approved.
Thank you, committee. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, and we are all set for the next file. We are hearing HMA 22110 for 20 Tolton Avenue in Hamilton. We have the owner registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the owner available?
I believe they are on the call. You'll just have to unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yeah, I guess the main comment was that my porch that's currently there wasn't actually on the what you guys had on file.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, the variances, staff are supportive of all three variances.
Okay.
So if you don't have any other questions, does the committee have any questions?
I have David.
Make a motion for approval, please.
I'll second it.
Okay, and for clarity, that is with the, I believe, minor technical amendments per zoning.
Yes.
Thank you. That was motioned
Okay,
by David and Laverne. Oh, sorry. Thanks.
Yes. All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried. Application approved.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, and we are all set for the next file. So we are hearing HMA 22111 for 102 and 104 Inchbury Street in Hamilton. We have the owners registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the owner available?
So I believe the owner is on the call. You'll just have to unmute yourself.
Yes, go ahead. Mr. Finley?
I didn't hear the previous comment.
Do you have any questions or comments for the committee members?
I guess the only clarification I just wanted to make sure was that if we wanted to use that parking pad at the front, that we just had to apply for boulevard parking. Is that correct?
That's probably correct, is it?
Yeah, so I think you would have to go through their permitting process if you wanted to use boulevard parking and enter into an agreement with them. I'm not sure what that would all involve.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't contingent on us finalizing the severance to get the boulevard parking, that we could just do that of our own accord.
So we're not speaking about conditions for the severance today.
Yes, no, I understand that.
Okay, does the committee have any questions?
No, that was the only one.
Okay.
I'll move it.
No, seconder?
I have Laverne.
All in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none?
Application, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
Right, right, and I believe we're all set for the next file. So we're hearing HMB 2225 for 235 Main Street West in Hamilton. We have the agents registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes, I did, Mr. Chairman, and in conversation with the Secretary Treasurer, it was indicated that I have had an opportunity to read the comments, and we agree with the comments and the recommendations. In terms of the conditions, I had an opportunity to speak with the Secretary Treasurer, and condition number 3 is to be removed. It was included sort of as an admin, oversight or whatnot.
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Chairman. It was added. This is for an easement, so no new lot is being created.
Correct. So if we could just strike condition number 3 off there, otherwise we're fully in support of the staff report and the recommendations. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Laverne?
We're a committee of 8 people today. We only have 1 absent. The last 6 applications, I've either seconded it or moved it. It seems like I'm the only one that's here today. Would somebody else please step up to the plate? It's kind of like a baseball game. We have to all take turns. This one seems very straightforward, and we must all have opinion on them. And I know it's going to get approved. Who can help me out?
I was about to approve it until you came up with that comment, so now I'm not.
I just love hearing your voice, Vern. Vern, I don't get to see you. At least I can hear your voice now. It's great.
Anyways, move it, guys. Get rolling.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Dave. Okay, all in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none.
Motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
I had to give you something to smile about today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Yep. Nancy, are you still alive? We haven't heard from you for a while.
I stopped speaking since I was overlooked 4 or 5 times, so I'm not going to bother today. I did send you a note, Mr. Chairman. I sent you a note just so you have it on record.
A lot of stuff today.
Oh,
Jeez.
I've been
What,
slapped.
not enough, not Betty. That's why I don't say nothing.
Next application.
Our next application is scheduled for 3:20.
Oh.
Oh, we got 7 minutes.
Time for another donut.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Bye.
All right. We are all set for the next file. So we are hearing FLA 2298 for 229 Carlisle Road in Flamborough. We have the owners registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the owner available?
Yes. Hello.
Yes. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
I did.
And do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Committee have any questions? Laverne?
I have Laverne.
Move it.
Second.
Second it. Second it.
And I have David.
Nancy.
All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none.
Motion carried. Application approved.
Thank you, everyone.
And sorry, I think I've lost Margaret. Okay, Mr. Chairman, for the record, Margaret is not on the call any longer. I'll let you know if she comes back.
Okay.
I must have offended her. Thomas is back in full swing now, so he's all set.
We have 3 minutes.
Ready to motion, ready to second here.
You got your gavel ready to drop?
I've been gearing up for this for the last half hour.
Yay, we have Margaret back.
I had a power failure.
Oh no.
And it cut out my my I guess modem had to reset. So yeah.
Okay.
Too many people turning their air conditioner on.
I don't know. It just everything went out and then anyway, so I can't be the only person who doesn't know how to or doesn't remember what their Wi-Fi password is. I had to go looking for it. Anyway. So I guess I missed one.
Yes, just one.
Okay.
Nothing. Close the door.
right, we're all set for the next file. So we are hearing ANA 22-100 for 734 Jerseyville Road West in Ancaster. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Okay, is the agent available?
Yes, that's me, Marina Fensham from Think Giraffe Design.
Yes, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes, I did.
And do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, committee? Questions or motion?
Move it.
Seconded.
Seconded by Mark. All in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none?
Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
David, are the Leafs going to win tonight?
No, Leafs aren't winning tonight.
Oh, come on.
I'm so sorry. They're just wanted to say, just throw it up there.
I guess they rocked the house in Toronto.
I guess. It's 50 years of build-up, and why wouldn't they?
No.
That's one thing I do miss. When Paul Maller and I, we used to go head to head a lot about this stuff before the meeting and after the meeting. Wouldn't stop, Paul.
I don't see the Boston hat, David. Are you not confident?
Oh, no, I'm okay. I am. I just got a little routine, right? So I can't do it yet.
So when we come back on in a couple of weeks, you'll show us your happy dance?
Yeah, that's right. I'll do it.
Or the other one?
Good hockey, though, regardless. Every game is high scoring, entertaining. It just shows you any last place team can beat first place team. There's very minimal difference between any of these teams, you know. Whoever gets in and whoever loses, either way, they deserve it or not deserve it. It's so tight to call any of these games.
There's only one team I don't want to see get in.
Who? What?
There's only one team that I don't want to see get in.
That are already playing? Who's that?
I won't give you the name of the team, but there's a player that they brought in from the States who came across the border illegally and played in here. Now he's playing for the team.
You don't like Evander Kane in Edmonton. You don't want that, do you?
No, I don't like that.
Huh? See? I know what you're thinking. You don't like Edmonton. You don't want them in there.
I don't mind Edmonton. I just don't like what they did. They were the ones that originally turned him in for getting across the border without the proper vaccinations, if you will. And then they turn around and hire him.
Sure.
Because of the philosophy has changed since then.
I guess.
How about Mark? Mark, you haven't said your hockey pools. How are they doing? You got Marsh. What Bruins you got going there? They're leading the pack. A few of them.
No, we ended up canceling it because of all of the missed games, etc.
Right. Okay.
All right, we are all set for the next file. So we're hearing DNA 22107 for 208 Governor's Road in Dundas. We have the agent registered to speak and one interested party. I do not, however, see the interested party.
Okay, is the agent available?
The agent's actually unavailable, but I'm the owner, Vincent Garrick. I'm here.
Okay. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
I did, yes.
And do you have any questions?
I don't believe so. I think I am. This is my first time with this process, but I believe I think I understand what's going on.
Okay. I'll just check one more time if the interested party come on.
No, I don't believe so. Planning staff do wish to speak, however, and I also saw Melvin with his hand raised as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that engineering is asked to be tabled, so I don't know whether you read that or not. There's insufficient information to provide pertaining to servicing, grading, and stormwater management. So.
I did see that, and I don't know if you're directing to me.
Yes, I am right to hear the one.
Yes. I know that I purchased the home 2 years ago, and there has been some issues, I guess, with drainage in that kind of the rear portion of the property, which is something that I definitely want to have addressed even before the garage is to be built. So that is something that I'm most definitely I'm focused on making sure is done correctly. The way that my lot is configured, all of the surrounding properties are kind of at a higher grade than myself. So I'm the sucker who gets everyone's backyard water into mine. So there's definitely going to need to be whatever has to be done, along with planting some more native plants and all that sort of stuff to help absorb some of that water. But I definitely intend to make sure that it's done properly into building code and what have you, as well as using permeable paving stones for the little addition of the driveway.
Okay.
So we could make that a condition maybe to satisfy development engineering.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for, similar to Naomi Court from earlier today.
Okay. I'll move it with those conditions if nobody else is saying the same.
Is there any other questions from the
So planning staff had comments, I believe.
Okay, sorry.
Afternoon, everyone, through the chair. Yeah, I just wanted to make note of variance 2. I did include a note in our comments, but I have had conversations with zoning staff and based on updated drawings that the applicant has submitted, that they don't need that variance for the 2 obstructed parking spaces anymore, because they only require 1 parking space for the SDUI and none is technically required for the house. So that variance is no longer needed as part of this application, if I'm correct. The applicant can clarify.
Yeah, that is correct. We would only need 1 and 3. And to be honest, there's no measurements on the plan of the driveway itself, but even at its narrowest, it's 12 feet and then opens up to 8 feet and beyond. So I have a full-size SUV and I regularly park it along the side, and there's still over 12 feet for other vehicles to pass by with the current setup on there. So I can currently park 5 vehicles in a line without obstructing anyone from getting into the access to the current garage, and even for the future addition, without adding anything, I would be able to do that. So there's more than sufficient enough parking for everybody without any obstructions.
Yeah, even though, through the chair, sorry, that only 1 is required, they still are able to have 2 parking spaces side by side that will both be unobstructed.
Correct.
Okay. Committee have any other questions?
Nope.
Motion? David?
Move it.
Move it.
So do you want the condition from development engineering in there?
Have to be in there.
I didn't even actually see. I saw the comments. They want it tabled, right?
Yeah. Just because they don't have enough information, but if we maybe make a
conditional law, then it should be fine.
Satisfaction of development engineering or something like that.
Yes. I don't even know what the comments are, but Mark, what do you think?
Move it. Conditional on the development and engineering satisfaction.
Okay,
Okay.
second it.
So Mark is moving that a condition be added for grading and drainage to the satisfaction of development engineering approvals. Variance 2 is removed and everything else as is. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And that was seconded by David.
All in favor? Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried, application approved.
Thank you very much. And a special note for Laverne for the extra work today. I appreciate that. I've been watching. He's been carrying the torch here. But have a great rest of your week.
This was a setup, I'm sure.
Thanks again.
It's good to have some humor.
Committee Chair. My name is Terrence Glover. I'm representing the next file. I'm present. If you guys want to move on for your timing, that's fine, or I can wait till the appropriate time.
Yes, the time was scheduled for 3:40, and that is the publicly noted time. So there may be other people watching online, so we can't move it forward.
Very good.
We appreciate the opportunity, though.
I just make a note really quickly on this next upcoming application for 130 Core Slab Drive? Or should I wait until it's being heard?
You have to wait until it's called.
Yeah, so you can wait till it's called. We'll make a note that you would like to speak to it.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
All right, we're all set for the next file. We're hearing FLB 2226 for 130 Course Lab Drive in Flamborough. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties. We do have planning staff who wish to speak to this as well.
Okay. The agent available?
Yes, hello.
Yes. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Have, yes. We accept them.
Okay. Planning has some comments?
Yes, I just wanted to note that from what I can see on the comment summary, there's a condition if approved, and that's for 1525 Concession 2 West. There's no conditions from planning staff for this application.
Okay, thank you. That's condition 4 can be removed.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Sorry, I'm prepared to give a little presentation if committee feels they need it.
I see several heads shaking.
No, I'm prepared to move it without presentation.
Okay, so Margaret for approval. And
I'll second.
That's David seconding?
Thomas.
Oh, Thomas. Okay, sorry.
All in favor?
You're here.
Opposed?
Seeing none?
Motion carried. Application approved.
Thank you very much. You have a great day.
All right, we are all set for the next file. So we are hearing FLA 22117 for 1525 Concession 2 West in Flamborough. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Hello, yes. Yes, I am.
Okay, did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes, I did. And I'd like to discuss variance number 2, where staff recommending tabling this because of the location. I had numerous conversations with the Grand River Conservation Authority as to their preference for the location of this barn. And after much discussions, this is the location that was best suited to satisfy the Grand River jurisdiction or preference and the owner's preference. This location provides a there's no intrusive reaction or things to take place. No trees will be removed. It's relatively flat. It's on the bend of the existing driveway, so no additional driveway has to be constructed. And according to the contractor, who was to attend this meeting, but he's somewhere on the QEW right now, this is the most ideal location to construct this structure. I don't know. My concern and the owner's concern is that we could be going back and forth between the city's preferred location and that not being in accordance to what the Grand River want. At the end of the day, it may be a location to where the owners may not want this. It's far enough back of the property, and again, it seems to be the best or the ideal location. Staff did say in their comments to determine if the proposed location can be located. So as I said, this is the preferred location for the owners.
Okay. I take it that no one wants to build the building in a floodplain or anything like that, so I'm sure that you're quite a ways away from any kind of.
Yes, we are. I did confer with the owners yesterday, and unfortunately they could not attend the meeting. It is away from any wetlands. Again, numerous discussions with Grand River, and there is a letter attached from them. And I did discuss this further with their planner, who made the comments that this is the most suitable location, excuse me, for this barn. And should this be approved, I just have a little concern that comments the statement number 7, the lands are subject to site plan control. The owner wonders why something like this would be placed under site plan control. They plan on constructing something very suitable to the area, which will blend in with the existing 100-year-old barn that's there. They're known for maintaining their property in a pristine condition. So it is to their advantage and preference that this will be constructed with very proper, suitable materials. And that's pretty much what their feeling is on that. So I'm wondering if the site plan control condition could be waived, and any details with respect to cladding or the materials be just included in the building permit application.
Well, I think
sorry, Mr. Chairman, for clarity, it was not a condition that the lands are subject to site plan control. That's outside the jurisdiction of the Committee of Adjustment to remove a property from the site plan control area. That's a different bylaw. And it was just noted for the applicant's information and for the committee's information that the lands are subject to site plan control. That was not requested as a condition from any staff.
Oh, excuse me, then does that mean that prior to building permit submission that we will have to enter site plan control?
you would need to speak with planning staff with regards to that.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, and we have received a letter from the Grand River Conservation Authority, and it does state that they have no objection to the approval of this minor variance application. So
I have Nancy with questions or comments.
No, I was just going to say I have the letter here.
Okay.
Dale jumped on it, so that's fine.
Is the staff there?
Sorry, Morgan, you're good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry, okay. Through the chair, staff just had conversations with natural heritage staff, and they were not comfortable supporting it in the P6 zone. It wasn't necessarily something that they think required site plan control, but it was more of a preference that if it can be located outside of it, they would prefer that.
I'm just wondering if the owner could get this straightened out with everybody and bring it back so everybody be happy with it. And I'm concerned with what the zone, hazard P zone or P6 zone, the heritage staff. So I was wondering if it should be tabled to get that straightened out, then bring it back.
I think maybe the problem might be is that as the comments from the agent was, you know, where the owner wants to put the building and where Heritage wants to put it doesn't suit the use of the building, possibly where Heritage wants it put.
It's a huge building too. Big building too.
Any other comments?
Yeah.
Margaret?
I'd be more comfortable with it being tabled and get this sorted. I don't feel comfortable approving it when Natural Heritage is not in favor at this point. So I would prefer that it be tabled.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah, I was just going to clarify. Margaret, was that a motion?
That is a motion that
okay.
it be tabled, that the application be tabled.
Laverne seconded it. All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
I have one opposed.
Okay, motion carried. Application tabled. Agent, if you can, I guess, have a talk with Heritage or whatever and see if you can come up with an agreeable spot.
And the planning department.
Thank you. And we are all set for the next file. So we are hearing FLA 22118 for 881 and 905 Center Road in Flamborough. We have the agent registered to speak and no other interested parties.
Yes, is the agent available?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you've been waiting very patiently. Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
Yes, I have.
And do you have any questions?
No, sir.
I just have a point of clarity. If the motion or if a motion is made, could clarify the area of the site instead of 16.5 meters, it should be 16.5 hectares.
That's a big one.
Just a slight difference.
Yeah, just a slight difference in that. I'll move it with those conditions. Change.
Were there no questions from the committee? Sorry.
I think, is Laverne have a question? I think I see his hand. Sorry, he's just in shadows.
I was going to move it, but I've changed my mind and now I'm going to second it.
Take Mel, then Laverne. All in favor?
Here.
Opposed?
Seeing none.
Motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
That concludes our hearing. Can I have a motion?
Yes.
To close?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move it.
And we are adjourning the hearing.
Let us know.
See you guys in 2.